Hi everybody, this is Pat in the paper closet. Today we're going to be making what I call hinged pockets, photo pockets. Now this, I've taken a screenshot of a recent mini album that I did a flip through of, and these are the pockets that I want to make. Now these are sized for a mini album, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to resize them to fit in a junk journal. I'm making a new junk journal. It's going to be black and white journal. This was called Woven Photos. I have a video on it. It's a flip through of a nice mini album that I made. I love the color combinations. If you want to take a look at that, there's some other things in there I'm going to be making. No, I don't actually have the album. I made that as a gift and I gave it away. But I did do a flip through, so I can take photos of whatever I want to make. There are a lot of interesting pockets and tucks in that album. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to resize it, because in a junk journal you can't fit 4x6 photos. They're too big, they're too wide. I want the pockets to go horizontally. So I'm going to make it to fit 3x5 photos. So I'm going to show you how I resize it, or how I get the size for what I want. What we need to make this, I have this paper that I printed, single-sided. Book's going to be black and white, so I have a lot of grays. This is printed on 32-pound paper. I don't want to make the pockets out of cardstock. They'll be too thick in a junk journal. It'll get too chunky. So I'm going to make it out of this paper. It's 32 pound. Nice weight. It feels kind of like scrapbook paper. And we'll also need some photo mats, which I printed and cut. There's 3 of them. And I'm going to need a piece of black cardstock because I want to make this trimmed edge on the edge of each pocket. It's about 2 inches wide, maybe 1.5. I'm going to edge punch those, and I think that's all we need to make these. We'll need another little strip to use as hinges on the pockets. It's going to be hinged so they will fold, they will move out kind of like a page. So you'll still have the ability to use your page behind it for other things, journaling or other embellishments. Alright, so I'm going to get started. Now like I said, I want this to be, I'm going to get this out of the way. I want the pockets to hold 3x5 photo mats. So the width of the top of the pocket, I'm going to make it in 2 parts. It'll be a top and a bottom. The top will be, let's see, 3 inches. The photo mat's a little bit wider. This is a 3x5 photo, say, that's the size. So the mats I would make probably 3.5 by 5.5. That'll be the size I will cut for the front of the pocket. And then we'll make the back a little bit larger so that we can fold over the edges and actually have a pocket. I want this to be my front. I'm going to cut 2 of these at 3.5 by 5.5. I'm going to get my paper trimmer. Cut those out. I need 2 of them. I want to make 2 pockets. So the width will be 3.5. Let's line that up and cut that. Here's my line. There we go. Move that out of my way. 3.5. So it should get 2 5.5s out of this. By 5.5. That's 1, that's 5.5. And this one is 5.5. It is already perfect. Don't even have to cut it. Okay, those will be the fronts. They will be this way. And the trim will be on this edge. So now the back has to be a little bit bigger. We don't need an edge along here, but we do need 1/4 inch here and here and here. So if this is 3.5, We're going to add 1/4 and 1/4. That's another half. So that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. I want to add 1/4 onto there. So what did I say? 4 by 5 1/4 will be the backs. 3 by... Wait a second. Did I make these 5 1/2? Or did I make them? Did make them 5 1/2. Okay, 5 1/2. So I'm going to need an extra 1/4 on this. So I need 5 3/4. So we need it. I think I wrote this down. I'm confusing myself. No, that was bigger than I thought. Okay, let's measure again. These are 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. So we want this 4 1/2 by 5 3/4 because we're adding 1/4 of an inch on each side. Okay, 4 1/2 inches wide. So I'm going to cut this way. 4 1/2. Hope you understand what I just did. That was 4 1/2 by 5 3/4, I said. We only want 1 extra 1/4 inch flap on that side. This will be the back. Here are our fronts. Now I need another one of those. 4 1/2. Oh, sorry, I haven't looked at my screen. Hope you're on camera here. Not quite. Let me move up a little bit. I'll cover up my ruler. By 5 3/4 is what I said. There we go. Alright, that's all the cutting we need for those. So we have 2 backs and 2 fronts. I'm going to get rid of the cutting board. I'm going to get out my scoreboard. Okay. These don't get scored at all. These are the fronts, the smaller ones. These are the backs, they're the bigger pieces. So I'm going to score 1/4 of an inch on this side. Turn it and score 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. And turn it again. I'll score 1/4 of an inch on this side. All 1/4 inch folds we want. That's one. Can you see my marks there? My light's not too bright. It's a little sunny out, but not too sunny. So it's not helping any. All right, let me score this one, same way. 1/4 of an inch on one side. 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. And 1/4 of an inch on the other side. We don't need a score mark at the top of the piece, which would be here. We only need it around 3 sides. Okay, let's get rid of the scoreboard out of the way. I just want to check something. These are my tops. I want to make sure my photo mat is going to fit inside that pocket. Yes. You see there's a little bit of a room on the sides. You have to add a little extra room to slide your photo mat or journaling card, whatever is in there, into the pocket. And it will go down part of the way. I don't want it going all the way down. Okay, that's good. And right here, we're going to fold on the fold lines, the score marks. Give them a good crease. All of them, all 3. This is the bottom. And this is another side. Now careful when you're scoring because this is paper. So if you score too hard, you're going to rip a hole in it. I meant to tell you that. So we have all our marks folded. That's one. Let's do this one. I'm sorry, I'm off camera again. Let me move this up a little bit. See more of what I'm doing. Okay. Folding on the score lines. Giving them a good crease. See what I said about ripping? This did rip a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. It'll be okay. It's a tiny little rip. Folding the 3 score lines. Give them a good crease. And what I want to do is, at these corners where the score lines meet, I'm just going to miter those off so there's not too much bulk when I'm folding all this and gluing it. So I'm just cutting across them. Not into the score line, just above it. So that's one. Now this one, I'm going to do the same thing. See, if you don't cut that off and you try folding all this bulk up, it gets very bulky in the book. It just comes out nicer if you cut it off at the corner. Just cut across the corner, not cutting into the fold line, into the score lines. Okay. Now I'm going to put these pockets together. Fold them back over. See how we have no bulk in the corners? Keep going off camera. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. Now this is going to be the top of our pocket. There's no fold line there. This is the bottom of our pocket. So we're going to lay this down like this. Going to get our glue. As usual, I'm using Elmer's. Use whatever glue you like. I'll make sure it's running. Okay. I'm testing it on a piece of paper. Okay, we're just going to put glue on the edges, all three. All 3 edges. Not too much, but enough. You want your pocket to stay together. Don't soak it. Get it all the way to the top. Here's the bottom. Just running the glue enough that it'll hold it down. All the way to the end of the top. We want the top of our pocket to stay glued together. Excuse me. Okay, now try to press these down a little bit. They do have glue on them. Let me get a napkin. Okay. Now we're going to take one of the tops. I'm going to start on one side. Don't press it down yet. Make sure you're meeting up with where your pocket is. Oh no. I cut something too short. Wait a minute. How wide is this? This is 4, which means this should have been 3.5. And it is. What did I add? This is my 3x5. See how I messed that up? I made the top piece too wide. Much too wide. Alright, so if this was 3.5, did I cut this wrong? No, it's 3.5. I'm confused. I don't understand what I did. 3.5. So this should have been 3.5. plus a quarter and a quarter would be 4. And I did mess it up. I cut it at 4.5. All right, I'm going to get my scoreboard back out. I mean my cutting board. Just goes to show no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. All right, I'm going to cut this at 4. Shouldn't be too difficult. Line it up on the 4-inch mark. Make sure the top is even. Cut that off. I'm going to have to rescore this side also. I know this one has glue on it. It's going to be a little messy. Let's see. This side that doesn't have glue on it yet. Okay. 4 inches. My goodness. Thought I had my measurements correct. Sorry. Messed it up. Alright, so we're done with that. Now we need a scoreboard again. Just to redo that one sideline. Yeah, this one also. Okay. I'm going to leave it like this because I have glue on this. I'm going to rescore this side with my scoring tool. There it is. I'm looking at my screen and it looks pretty dark. My lights are all on. I don't know, I set the brightness on the camera high. Alright, let me fold this in. I've rescored it at 1/4 inch. And I'm going to have to recut that corner. Same with this one. Score it on this side. 1/4 inch. So if I've messed this up somehow, I'll be restarting. Cut this one off. Alright, we have our bottoms again. Hopefully they're the right size. So if we, which one had glue on it? This one. Fold them in again. Of course the glue is almost dry right now, so I'll put a little bit more on that. Okay, back where we were. My glue's not coming out. Here we go. Okay, we're putting glue on all 3 sides, all 3/4 inch flaps. Not too much now because I already have glue on these flaps. Sorry. Okay, they all have glue on them. All 3 sides. Now we take the top. Line it up best you can. Even with the folds. Let me get this bottom flap in. Okay. That should work well. They don't exactly fit perfectly, but that's okay. They're good. I'm having trouble getting this bottom flap in there. There we go. I'll take my bone folder, press down my glue. Alright, we have a pocket. The reason I did this with the flaps on the sides, if I had just glued the edges together, we would have lost space on the inside. See, this way our piece can go all the way to the edge. You have full use of the inside of your pocket. Just make sure you haven't glued it down anywhere. I'm just running my ruler in there a little bit. I see an opening down here at the corner. There, can you see? So we have full use of a pocket so that our mats will fit in there, I hope. They're all my measuring, it's probably wrong. Actually it is, but they go in okay. So that's what it's gonna look like. And we're gonna put our trim across the side. Our mats go in and out fine, or journal cards, whatever you're putting in there. And they stop at a certain point, so they stick out a little bit, not too much, because we don't want it hanging out the side of the book. I had one of my pages here. Here it is. This is one of the pages that are going in here, so it's going to be hinged over here. It will stick out a little bit, but that's okay. And then it's going to be another one above it. So there's going to be two of them on one page. Okay, let's glue the other one together. I can find pieces. I've lost one. Where's my other top? My goodness, I'm batting 1,000 today. There it is. Found it. Okay, let's fold these in well so they're not in our way while we're gluing. Give the corners a good press. Okay. Now we're going to put glue on this one. Not too much. But all the way to that edge. Along the bottom. And this side. I've seen a couple of little cracks in my paper there. I pressed a little too hard on the scoreboard. Okay, now we have to get this one off. Start on this side. Well, that's where I start. Maybe I pick it up easier. Line it up at the top. That's pretty good. So I fold in. Wipe off the glue. My hands. There we go. On. And give it a press away. Go in folder and spread the glue back and forth. Alright, that's our basic pocket with full use of the inside. See, there's nothing in the way. The photo goes all the way. The mat or the journaling card will go all the way. Let's test this one. Perfect. Well, this one goes in further. Why is that? This one, oh no, this one did too. That's fine. Unless it will stick out. Okay. Now, we have our pockets built. I see I have a little bit of an overhang here, so I'm going to cut that off. This one is good. Now try cutting it. You don't want to cut into your pocket if you're just hanging over. So kind of angle your scissors so you're not slicing off the side of your pocket. You only want to cut off the extra overhang. Okay. Take out the card. Now, so this is the open side. We're going to have two of these. Now I want to do the edging along here. See this black edging? I like the little bits of black in the book. So I'll be doing that in the junk journal. I'm going to use the same punch that I used on this one. I did pull out a few others, but I like that one in particular. So we're going to take our black cardstock. Let's see, I want it to come, I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. This way the end of the trim will be about here. I'm going to cut a few strips that are 2 inches wide. I'll get my cutting board. My paper trimmer, whatever you want to call it. That was. Clear my way here. Okay, I'm going to cut these 2 inches wide. I'll cut, I think, 2, because we need one on each side of each pocket. One. And here's another one. I have glue all over my fingers. It makes such a mess with that pocket. Alright, 2 of them should hold us for now. We don't need to do any scoring on this. I'm going to take my edge punch. This is the one. I don't know what this is called. I didn't write the name on it. Not sure. It is a Martha Stewart punch. But if you have something similar, any edge punch that you like will do. Just try not to get anything that's too delicate. Like, I was going to use this one. But I think all these little pieces just hanging down are going to get bent and ripped off. So I think that's a little too delicate. So we'll try this one. Now, you put this in. Oh, let me wipe this glue off my fingers. Oh, I should have turned off my notifications. It's okay. Alright, I'm going to line this up. This is the tricky part. With the edge of the punch over here on this side, making sure I'm up against the back here. There's a little ledge here, holding it tight there, and then punch. Okay, see that? Now you see where I started? But this, I mean, I have extra. I'm not going to use all of this, but that's the tricky part. Now to line this up, you see there, the pattern on here? Now I want to make sure, yes. So we want to start punching right here. I'm going to line up these 2, fit on the little pattern. One is started underneath there, making sure it's even on the back of the edge, and punch, and hope. Alright, it worked. So you see these 3? 1, 2, 3. One is going to be under the punch, and these 2 are going to line up on the pattern part. So you need the last 3. 2 on the pattern, and 1 is underneath the punch right here. I hope you can see. Okay, then we punch. Did it. Okay, next 3. 1 is under the punch. 2 are on the pattern over here on the cutter. Lined up against this back ridge. And we punch. Continue until we're finished. Okay, so I'm going to keep it lined up on this little edge here. There's a little ledge. Push the paper up against it. There we go. We've got one whole strip. And this is what it's going to look like on our pocket. Oh, very nice. I like that look. What I'm going to do after I cut them to size, I think I'm going to score this like 1/4 of an inch and fold it to the inside of the pocket so that it won't be, the edge won't be, it'll get all frayed if I just leave the straight edge on there. It's going to get messed up, so I'm going to fold it under and glue it. I'll show you in 1 second. I want to punch the other piece. We have them all punched. Now I want to measure this. Let me get things out of my way here. See how big of a strip I need. So across the top here measures 3.5. So I need 2 pieces that are 3.5 for this one, and 2 pieces that are 3.5 for this one. Alright, paper cut. First I'm going to cut off this unpunched edge. I don't want that in there. Cut that off. A little bit more. I don't want that little string hanging out there. Okay, that's good. That I can trim off with my scissors. Now I'm going to measure it. 3.5. Let's go this way. 3.5 is right there. Which works out well because it's in between these little cuttings on the bottom. See? This one I have to trim. Now we need one more 3.5 for one pocket. How's that edge? That's good. I can cut that off also. 3.5. That's 2. Now I need 2 more for the other pocket. Oh, that one's good. 3.5. Now I need 1 of this. 1 more piece from this one. And I'll save that. We could use that on something else. Other pockets. 3.5. That number seems to be working out well with what I've got here. See, I just have to trim off these little ends. Okay, save that. Put away my cutter. Now I need my scoreboard. I have a paper trimmer that's also scoreboard. I should have gotten that out. I want to score these at 1/4 inch. So that fold over that I want to do. So just all 4 of them. Only across the top, not the sides. I don't need any other scoring. So put your little trim on the side. Excuse me. And score it at 1/4 inch. 1 more. Whoops. Went right off the line. This is cardstock, so it's a little bit harder to score. Okay. Get the scoreboard out of the way. I just want to trim off these little, any of these little ends that are hanging over. Get something lighter behind it so you can see. See that little piece hanging off? I'm just going to cut that off. Okay, that's fine. And a little piece here. There we go. So there we have our trim. Let's see what else needs to be trimmed off here. This end. I just don't want you to see, look like half of a edge hanging over. That one's done. This one needs trim. Right there. This one I think we already did. And this one. I don't see anything hanging off the edge of this. And this little notch. Little stub. Okay, we have our edges. Let's get our pockets. Now fold this on the score line. And on these I'm going to also angle the corners so they don't get in the way. Just cut them on a little slight angle. All 4 of them to the score line, angled. Can you see that? I know, I'm working black on black. I should have got a piece of white paper out. And I'll put the pocket behind it so you can see what I'm cutting. You see, I'm just cutting on an angle, like 1/4 of an inch to the score line on an angle. Like that. Both sides. You see how they both have a little angle? Okay, I'm going to do all of these. I think I lost one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cut them already. Yeah, that one's cut. Okay, they're all cornered. They have their little angles. Now we'll fold on the score line. Give it a good press on all of them. So these folded. This one. Now we're going to put our glue on. First I want to test it. I'm going to go over the edge of this side of one pocket. Perfect. Okay. Then on the inside where it's folded up, on the inside of that fold, we're going to put some glue. If it's going to cooperate, there we go. Not too much. You don't want to overdo the glue. Now take the little folded part with the glue on it and place it in the opening from side to side and fold it over the edge. Pressing to the inside. Can you see that? The fold is on the inside of my pocket. I think that'll just stabilize the edges a bit more because you have glue and paper. Okay, now we need one on the other side of this pocket. We'll take another one. Put the glue on the inside of the fold, on the flap. Overdo the glue. I know I keep repeating that, but that was one of my bad habits. And it would end up crinkling up all my papers. Put the flap on the inside. Fold it over. This one's not cooperating. Hold on. Get it back in there. Keep losing my fold. Alright, there we go. I think I had 2 score lines on that one. But that's okay. Fine with that. See if I can slide it over a little bit. Not really, but it's okay. So there we have our trim. That's that one. I'm going to open this up a little more so I can get my piece in there. Okay, now glue on the inside of the flap. And again, trying. Put it on the inside. The flap goes on the inside. It's the hardest part of the whole pocket. I don't believe this. Getting this little piece in here. This one seems to be bigger. And, got it. Okay, press it down. The glue sticks. Press down your flap on the inside. Can you see where the flap is? On the inside of the pocket. And now the last one. Glue on the inside of the flap. Put it inside. Try it in. Probably much easier off camera, of course. Being that I'm on camera, I'm having trouble. My little flap is not fitting. There we go. Fold it over. Have it on there. Let's see if I can even it up. Same thing happened on the other one. Okay. So there's the inside of our pocket. You can see the flaps on both sides. I kind of missed with this end. What did I do? I haven't filmed in a while. I'm really out of practice. Okay, there we go. So we have two pockets with a little flaps over the end. So I can either put them this way, two different patterns, or make them be the same. I think I'll go with the same. Let me do the polka dots on the front. I just want to show you what it's going to look like in our book. Now for our hinge, we're going to hinge this into our book. This is the Cozy Winter Days journal. I just want to show you how to put it on your page. Let me find a page that's going to stay open. Here we go. See, they're going to fit here. Not, you don't want to put them all the way into the fold where the papers fold, because you'll make it too much bulk in your book. So you want to put them like 1/8 of an inch away. So we're going to have two like that. I really like those. So let me cut a strip for the hinge. The hinge is going to be on the back side. So I think I'll use the same paper that I used at the back of the pocket. Here it is. Now I need a small piece. I'm going to cut this off about 1 inch wide, which is right past the square. You don't need it that long. I'm not even going to put it end to end. I'm going to have it in about 1/4 of an inch on both sides. I'll cut this off about here. Now I'm just going to take it and you're going to fold it so that the right side of your paper is on the inside of your hinge right now. You'll see why in a minute. You want the right side on the inside of your hinge. You see my pattern is on the inside. You're going to put glue on here on one side. Oh, I'm not going to glue this in this way. I can't put it on. Put glue on one side. And take your hinge with the fold to the right. And here's the bottom of our pocket. Let me get back in camera. Okay. And I'm going to see where my glue is on that side. My fold is on this edge. I'm just going to place this along the bottom. Even with the bottom. That's where the fold is on this side. Press it down. And that's going to be our hinge. Now when we put it in the book, would put the glue on here, on this side of the hinge, and you'll glue the hinge to your page. I'll put another hinge on this one. I'm just taking a rough measurement how wide I want it. I want it 1 inch wide. That's right about here. Don't need these pieces. Fold it in half, put the right side of the paper on the inside, folding it over, so now you have a 1/2 inch piece. Put your glue on one side, and we're not going to glue the other side, remember, till we put it in our book, which we haven't made yet, so we can't glue it in, but we'll get there. Okay, now place it on the back of your pocket, the fold on the outside, even with the bottom of the pocket. And press it down. So this is what your hinge will look like before you put it in your book. It folds this way. To put it in your book, you'll put the glue on here. There's our other one. So the hinges will be underneath, this way. We would even them out on our page. And now we have 2 hinged photo pockets, or just journal card pockets if you want. Now this edging is just sticking up and annoying me, so I'm just going to glue down the sides, because I know that's going to get caught on something. Give it a little bit of glue along the edges, both sides. Both edges, I should say, not both sides, only one side. That'll hold it down, it won't be flapping around. Press that down to glue catch. Okay, I'm going to do the other side also. I don't want it flapping around, because I know they're going to get ripped. Just a little glue on the edge. So you can tuck something under that if you want. Under here. It's actually another little pocket, little tuck. Okay, get the glue to dry. And there you have it. We have resized our photo pockets, our hinged photo pockets, to fit in our junk journal. I think they will look great. Let me put a card in there, and we'll see what it looks like. I would put a 3x5 photo onto this card. This is a photo mat. Fit in there, and the hinge would be on. Here's the hinge. We would glue that down here, not into the fold of the book, remember. About 1/8 of an inch away. And the same with this one. I'm going to glue these edges down. So there's plenty of things in that mini album, that flip through that I did. I think it was my last video. So take a look at it. There's a lot of things I want to resize to fit into a junk journal. There are waterfalls, different types of pockets. There's 2 of them. So now they would fold this way, out of your way. I should have cut my maps a little bit longer. Just don't push them all the way in, that's all. Let's see this one. Actually, we can fit 2 of these in here. I know I did in the mini album. Yeah, you can fit 2 of these maps in here. I wouldn't put any more than that because you're going to have photos on them. And what I was saying before, you can tuck something under the front here if you want. make a small little tag, or a longer tag, or whatever size tag you want on there, but you could tuck things under here. So you have more room there, and also on the back, tuck under. You have a tuck there, and a nice pocket for large photo maps. I'm going to save this piece. I'll use it on maybe on a page edge. That would also look nice. Okay, so there we have it. Resized pockets from a mini album to a junk journal. You could actually make more of these and layer them, put 3 of them on here if we wanted. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you today. If you like this video, please hit the like button, leave me a comment what you think, and also hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when the next video is up. We're going to be working on the black and white junk journal for a while, resizing different things from the mini album. So if you want to watch that video, I'll put a link below. You can watch the flip through of the woven photo mini album to see what I'm talking about, making other things. Okay, thank you for coming, and I'll see you soon. Bye.